and we're going to stand up, and then it's going to take 2 more shots to knock us down. And on the way up, we're going to take your other kneecap, and we're going to get up, and then it's going to take 3 shots to get us down. And when we do, we're going to take another hunk out of you. Before long, we're going to be the last one standing.
What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another video. In today's video, we are here to take a look at this Lions and 49ers game. Kind of a rewind back into this game. I've watched this a few times today. I took out, there's a lot of clips in this. I get it, but we're kind of going to go quick through it. And I think throughout the week, we could potentially dive into players individually. So I need you guys to comment down below. Let me know if you guys want to see us take a look at maybe Goff's performance just individually, only Goff, or if you want to take a look at, anything specific about this team. But this is kind of a rewind through the game. A lot of things that we learned getting to watch it back, it definitely helps. You get good notes. There were some guys from watching it back that really stood out to me, and there are other guys that did not stand out in a good way. All right, so that's what we're going to take a look at in today's video. There was a lot to learn from this game, the coaching adjustments that the Lions were made. Really, let's start off with the run action, because that's where the Lions had a lot of success, and it's just unfortunate that we were unable to do this more often, that we got in such a big hole that it took away from our run game, because it was pretty darn successful. We had a lot of big plays in this area, and like Dan Campbell said, we have to find a way to get more explosive pass plays early. Completely agree. But where we were really getting explosive plays was the run game throughout the entire first half. And we did find some success offensively. There were just a couple of missed opportunities to score, which we'll see. Obviously, we had the missed field goal. We had the stoppage on 4th down. But we moved the ball well. We had 10 points going into half. The issue is the other team had 31. And that's usually going to be a problem. But let's just dive right into it. So, of course, we have Sewell at left tackle. We have Matt Nelson at right tackle. So, keep an eye on those two guys. Jamal did start this game, but Jamal played really well. And like Campbell said, Swift was a little bit rusty. You saw the flashes of brilliance. We know how good Swift is, but he has missed some time, so he called him a little bit rusty. It makes sense. We didn't get to see him in the preseason at all, but he thinks this game under his belt will help him. You saw some cuts that were just a little slow, and you're like, okay, that's not like Swift. But at the same time, you also saw those flashes of, that's Swift. So this 1-2 punch is going to be fun during the season, especially next week as Swift continues to roll, because I think we're going to be able to run the ball on Green Bay, and I think we can give them a real problem in that area. But let's get into this, okay? So we're going to start off with the inside handoff here, and that's really where the Lions were having a lot of success between the tackles. They were kind of gashing this 49ers defense. They have talent at the defensive end spot, but the defensive tackle spot, there was no Kinlaws, where the Lions found some success, attacking this defense. And this is a really good rep from a lot of guys. What I've noticed from watching this back overall is that we have some really good run blocking offensive linemen, like really good run blocking offensive linemen. Sewell, Jonah Jackson, Big V, they all can run block. Pass protection, some of the guys struggled a little bit, like Jonah Jackson struggled a little bit. Big V had a couple of rough reps. Matt Nelson had some rough reps. But run blocking, we're pretty darn good there. We have guys that can not only get up to the second level and block, but we also have strong guys that can just move you back. This is just a great way to get it started, and we would see this more and more. It's just unfortunate we got so far behind we couldn't keep doing it. If we can do this throughout a game and wear a defense down, you got to think they're fresh when we're doing this. If you get into the third and fourth quarter, it's tight, and you can run the ball like this, oh my goodness, man, we can have some success. We can wear out some teams. This is nice. This is a really good rep. You have TJ Hockenson coming across the play to pick up Nick Bosa. You have Sewell pushing inside, and he helps out here Jonah Jackson, but then he's going to get off and get to the second level. Now, we know Sewell's a blocker, and this was a terrific rep. He gets to the second level. So does Frank Ragnow. Jonah Jackson gets some help moving his guy out of the play. Sewell picks up Bosa, and that sparks Jamal Williams for a big, tough run. And I loved it from Jamal, right? We know what kind of back Jamal is. He's not a flashy back. He's not trying to bounce things. He's going to run you over. Here we are on the 4th and 2, and this came after a short little flat pass to TJ Hockenson, but Dan Campbell decided he wanted to go for it, and I like it because that didn't waver throughout the game. He was aggressive. He said they went for it on 4th down 5 times. They were 2 for 5, which is obviously not good enough, but he came out aggressive with the aggressive mentality. He stuck to it, and this was on the first drive. This would have been about a 52-yard field goal. Yeah, he probably could have took the field goal. Maybe makes it, maybe he doesn't make it, but if he misses, you lose a lot of momentum there. So he decided to trust his offense that was running the ball well, so I have no issues with this call, and we actually got the hole where we wanted it. Guys stayed low between, Sewell, Jonah Jackson, the guys got low. They opened this hole, and it was great. But unfortunately, Nick Bosa really just destroys this play. And you can see Darren Fells gets off really late. You see how late he is off the snap here? Notice they have Logan Stenberg here. At first, I was like, wait, they got Sewell at guard? No, they put 6 offensive linemen. We talked about the possibility of this. I didn't even know this in real time, but they put Logan Stenberg out here. So they went 6 offensive linemen. So they went the big bodies here. And, You could see Stenberg, Fells a little bit. They're both kind of late off the snap. I guess it makes sense for Fells because he can't really see the football. But because of that, you can see Nick Bosa kind of blows this up. They get the push they want here on the left side. Guys are staying low. You see Jonah kind of pushing his guy out. There's a hole here. But because Bosa blows this up, Jamal's forced to kind of try to stop and break back outside. Then he slips and falls, and we turn over on downs. That's just very unfortunate. We had the hole where we wanted it, but Bosa kind of blows it up off of the snap. The Lions were having a lot of success running the ball, really between, the tackles, between the guards, inside handoffs. They go with the draw. I like it. It slows down the pass rush. You get upfield. You let guys go by. Watch Hawkinson get to the second level. You got St. Brown. You got Khalif blocking. It's really good blocking across the board. You can see Swift, because defenders forced to cut outside. It just kind of looks like a slow cut. It's not like, the Swift that we know. That could have been a much bigger play, but it was kind of slow. We get about 5 yards out of it, but not as much as we wanted. We know that drive ends with a missed field goal. So those were 2 missed opportunities to score. You had 2 opportunities to do it. That one came off the turnover, and we still have 0 points. Defensively, we got gashed, okay? And we know that. Dan Campbell said it. Aside from the fumble in the first half, you get yourself in a hole when that is the case. Plus, you add on a pick 6 to that, you're in a pretty bad spot, and that's what happened in this game. And we know this is a tough rush offense to stop, and like Campbell said, we knew we had to stop it. It's tough. They throw a lot of little things at you. They got all this eye candy. You see the motion right away, and this is actually a play that we saw when we did the defensive game plan this week. So if you saw that video, you probably know what's coming here, okay? You see the motion. Watch the right side offense tackle, the right tackle. You see how he quickly gets upfield for this defensive lineman? So this is their mid-zone pitch. It's to get these quick lanes. You can see it here, the pitch to get the ball to the running back a little bit quicker. He's looking for this cut upfield. This is not a play designed for them to go outside. It's for this cut upfield. And what we know against this offense is that for linebackers, man, you got to get downhill. Once you read where the ball is, you got to get there fast. You can't be patient. You can't wait. I thought Jamie Collins played a little bit too patient. It's kind of his play style, for the defense he used to be. And plus, he's just not that fast downhill anyway. Read a lot of coaches, they teach their linebackers to basically take on half of the offensive lineman situation. I want Jamie Collins to get downhill right here, right? Take half of this offensive lineman, force a cutback lane where, your backside linebackers are supposed to be your Trey Flowers, those guys. But instead, he's so patient, he kind of just goes diagonally with it that this huge gaping hole opens up. And they're looking for these quick lanes on this mid-zone play. And you'll see Barnes later in the game. He was really good at this, but they trust Collins right now more. And they made some changes and adjusted later in the game. Plus, the cutback is really going to be stopped here by Will Harris, or it should have been. But instead, he gets thrown down. I don't know if that's holding or what. He just grabs him and throws him on the ground, opens up a huge lane. Then he gets to the 2nd and 1 spot. Another thing is you have to be extremely disciplined against this offense. And we weren't at all on this play. You get the eye candy going this way, so you have a receiver and you have a tight end. And they're not even looking at these guys. They have no look at it. This is something we saw Kittle do in the defensive game plan video as well. Sells it like he's blocking here, and then he just drags across the middle. But you have a zone coverage drop here. Okay, I like Romeo Quora. He sets the edge, but neither of your linebackers are paying any attention to the 2 options going underneath. They're crossing your face, and they're so locked into the running back here, not really where the ball is, or taking the guys that are running across your face. Alex turns around. Now, later in the game, they adjust to it. Maybe they saw it in film. Maybe maybe they were told, hey, look, they're showing the screen, like, dude, you got it. If you see this, you got to be on it. We got to be more disciplined. But they did not come out disciplined early, and I think that's what you could see here. Then they put Trey Lance in the game, and we got a good run stop here. This is a nice job by Michael Brockers. Like I said, I thought Lee McNeil showed us some push, which was nice. You got him in a 3rd and 6. You got a chance to get off the field, at least force a field goal. Man coverage across the board. Okudah, so unfortunate for Okudah. He just gave a little bit too much space, I think, on this play. Okudah was forced to play back off the snap because of the trips look. He wanted to stay out of the way. That way there's no pick plays or anything like that for these receivers that can get him out of the play. He is playing some inside leverage here, probably because there's only a single safety look, but he was just a little bit too far off on this play. Fast enough, and they get the first down, end up scoring a touchdown out of this here, and it's just Amani who's just completely beat. Amani's got his head in the backfield. He's watching the quarterback's eyes a little bit. You can see the safety and A.J. Parker, they pass this off, and he's just completely beat by the little zig route, and Amani had a really rough game. Chance to get off the field, yes, but obviously we were just kind of all out of sorts early defensively. I mean, that's what it was. Like we said, we just were not prepared. We didn't come out playing at the high level you have to stop this run early, and it got us in such a hole that even though we got better as the game went on, we were already in such a hole, it kind of killed us. Jonah does a nice job here. You can see the block by Jonah Jackson. You see Hawkinson again off the edge, and it's just attacking right down the middle, and then it's just a maul. He's going to put his shoulder down. He's going to try to run you over. Lions fans, football is back, and I hope you're enjoying this video. If you're enjoying this, let me know in the comments, man. I'm going to be reading. Hopefully you guys are enjoying this video. But football is back. Monday Night Football tonight, but it's back. It's here. So if you're looking to bet on games, player prop bets, whatever it may be, all the help you need is on BetQL. The link is in the description. When did you start guessing on your bets? I just been guessing. And who were your picks for week 1? Pats -3 over the Dolphins, and Bills over the Steelers -6.5. So I'm sure you're confused what the heck is going on here. Let's go back a little bit to kind of set the stage. Patriots and Dolphins. I kind of like the Patriots logo. I feel like that's underrated. Patriots all the way. Don't be this guy. Download BetQL to make smart bets. BetQL's best bet computer scans 350,000 unique bets per year to give you recommendations on all games, on all major sports. Take the Saints. Michael Thomas, he's going to carry that team. He's going to kill it. Trust me on this one. Bro, Thomas ain't playing week 1. Get up-to-date injury and lineup changes. That way things like this don't happen. I just put the money on them because of him. Solely because of him. Allegra, who should I take? Oh, it's Alexa. Alexa is not plugged in. It covers spreads, over-unders, prop player bets, and all the tools that you need to do your own research. Plus, you can see who the pros are backing. Keep up with real-time line movement with your bets. Background knowledge on team summaries, how they've done against the spread. You can look at scenarios, home, away, on grass. Head to try.betql.co/DoseOfDion to get started. Use promo code DOD for 25% off. I felt hopeless. So hopeless. Now download BetQL. Wait. Go Lions. That's good water. That's good. Let me get some more of that. Hold on. Where's that at? I just like seeing 4 yards of pop. I see 4 yards and I'm excited. I'm automatically excited. Look at Sewell doing work here against Bosa. And you can take a look at him more if you want. We might do a video on him. Then getting upfield, you got Matt Nelson. You got some nice blocks. You got our lineman getting upfield to the second level. And we're just in a really good spot offensively with this run game. We're playing above the chains. But the one issue was offensively was Jared Goff. He came out a little bit inaccurate. He did. He didn't seem as comfortable as he was once the game got going. It seemed like really in the second half he started to get super comfortable, started to dial in. He looked more in command. In the first half he looked a little bit just hesitant with everything, just a little step off. And even though stats say he looks a yard off, and maybe that was timing from not playing much in the preseason, just being off for a little while. But you can see here just a little off on this pass. It's incomplete. I mean, that's an easy completion. You know, Goff does that in his sleep, but apparently early in this game he just came out a little bit slow during the game. But Jonah definitely had some issues. Sewell does a fantastic job. They did this a lot. You know, had the guy chip Nick Bosa. Actually, St. Brown ran him over on one snap to help him out, but Jonah Jackson, you see this time he gets beat and Goff's not able to really get to his second progression. This is a deep drop, so right here, bam, that's his first read. His first read is off this drop, must not have been there, but then you get Jonah Jackson beat inside. By the time he looks back underneath, the pressure's in his face, he gets sacked, and we're backed up to midfield as well. It was a nice job by the defensive line. They kind of threw him off. They got him a little delayed here with the show blitz, then dropped, and he's coming again. He just hit Jonah with this little bull rush move. He gets inside, catches him off balance, and they got pressure in Goff's face. It wasn't a great throw, but it was a first down to Hockenson, so that was nice. And this was that 7-minute drive. I mean, this is what we wanted. You see that and you're looking on the screen, you're like, man, the 7-minute drive, that's all we want from this team. And we know if we can do that, we can beat a lot of teams. But again, defensively, we just could not get a single stop. So it was just like, it just killed us. I mean, it really did. Here we go with Jared Goff. You can see he kind of starts underneath here. He holds the defender. They're using their eyes. And then he hits his man, TJ Hockenson. He gets space. Hockenson's just ridiculous to cover. And he got a touchdown. So the 7-minute drive capped off there. Beautiful. Well done by the offense. But again, defensively, you just have some issues. Amani was really struggling in the coverage. I don't know what it was. He just really struggled. The Lions here are going to drop Romeo, so they only have a 4-man rush. You can see Jimmy Collins gets ran over by Juszczyk. Maybe it was zone, but it looked like man to me. Really tell completely. This could have been a zone drop. You can't tell by the angle that you get. It looks like a man coverage by how the linebackers are playing it, but either way, no one's even near the ball. And I guess you have to give that knock to Amani based on what we can tell there. Okudah goes down and makes the tackle, but he just really struggled. He had a couple flashes, but it was just not a great game for him. Called offsides there. I keep watching it back. I'm like, was he really offsides? I don't even think he was offsides. But either way, we gave him the touchdown, okay? And again, with this offense, I mean, you got to see the ball and you got to get downhill. You got to blow this up. Okay, you got to force him to go, cut back, do something else. And here we go with that wide zone play that we know all about, Tracy Walker. But really the issue is you have Walker in the box. He gets blocked. Okay, the issue is here you have one guy blocking two, and he takes out Jamie Collins. Collins was just a little bit too patient for me. You see how he kind of stops and breaks. He's trying to avoid. Like, you got to get there, man. You got to fly down and blow this up. And you can see he's picked up because he kind of stops in his tracks. And look at this block, man. They're both brought down by the same dude. So you got one guy blocking both of our linebackers. Will needs to make this tackle, and you got a touchdown. And again, the run game. And the run game was rolling. That was great. It's a great thing to see. You got Cabinda with the cross block here. You have Jonah Jackson. You have Sewell downfield. I mean, look at that block by Penei Sewell. Look at Sewell get to the second level. Cabinda obviously sparks this, but it's Penei Sewell in the second level blocking a linebacker, giving Swift a lot of space. I love to see him make him miss. But either way, I think he'll be all right. It was the first time we've seen him in a while. He did miss the preseason. Here's another run. Just look at this, though. I mean, no one's even touching him. When is the last time we remember this? No one's touching the running back for 10 yards. Sewell blocking, Hawk blocking. Look at this blocking across the field. And then you get, the block here on the second level. No one's touching him. And this was sparking our offense. We had a couple negative plays which really shut down this drive. You're 2nd and 11. Zone run. You get the inside push here. Frank Ragnow's a little thrown off by this. And he's not able to get the edge. They're setting the edge well. And Swift has no cutback lane. Maybe a face mask? Hey, give me one of those. No. But nothing on that play. So we lose 5. And that kind of throws off that entire drive, which leads to a field goal. At this point, it's 14-10. You're still in the game, and then things just, this is when kind of the floodgates just opened, because offensively they kept scoring and defensively we get the pick 6, and it's just like, oh gosh, we're in a terrible spot. We fought back, and this game probably could have been closer. But when you think about how we fought back, we adjusted. Flowers takes away the leak out here, and good blocking, honestly, from the right tackle position. We're unable to get pressure. He's got a really nice pocket. We like to have more push on the inside there. But again, it's Amani and man coverage, and I believe it's man. You can see man coverage here. Could have been zone.
All right, a little bit more eye candy here. You get the tight end 81 in motion, who Will Harris says that's who he has before the play. You see the linebacker shift, but this is where the communication has to be on point. Deebo Samuel working underneath the line of scrimmage, who the defenders, maybe they don't all see him right away. Garoppolo does a great job with his eyes to hold Will Harris. You see players passing players off, but there needs to be good communication of who has who. Will Harris needs to take Deebo Samuel as Trey Flowers passes him off, but he's sitting on the tight end as Jimmy Garoppolo uses his eyes to hold him there. Jimmy Collins needs to slide down and take the tight end, so Will Harris is late. The eye candy kind of gets him moving. He doesn't really know who has who. Then communication is off.
But you have this kind of 2-minute drill for the Lions offense, and it doesn't go well because it ends up with this pick, and this turns into a pick 6. Like Dan Campbell said, you can see Hawk, he's just locked on to TJ Hawkinson way too long on this play. Matt Nelson is beat at the right tackle spot, and obviously when you watch the ball come out of his hands, probably something that had to do with him getting hit, the pressure, it does not come out right. Maybe he was just holding the ball, squeezing it too hard. Regardless, the ball does not come out right here. You can see he kind of just throws it straight down. Does not come out well. It's picked off. It's taken the other way. He was watching Hawk from the middle. Hawk wasn't even that open, but it's picked off and it's ran back the other way. 28-10, and this is blown up. We try to pull the offensive lineman. It's blown up in the backfield. Again, this is Nick Bosa who blows up this play. He made a few plays like this where he just blew it up. You can see Sewell there trying to get the block, can't, and that play's blown up. Then he get a 2nd and 14, and bam, right here, out of his first progression, it's a deep drop. So, it's probably a deep pass that he's waiting to open up here, and as soon as he gets out of that step, he's sacked. And obviously he can't really do anything about that because that's the timing of the route. Here in this spot, now you're just dumping it away. But the issue is because of how fast we got off the field here, San Francisco gets the ball back and they're able to get a field goal. This was part of the reason. Okay, so yes, good run. Obviously that's a problem. But then to add on top of that, you get a face mask call on Will Harris. That puts him already here at the 43-yard line. Now they're pushing in the field goal range. You get this quick slant. Good coverage there by Amani. I really think from this spot on, the Lions kind of turned the dial on the aggressiveness up defensively. They were like, okay, we got to do something different. We have to throw off this offense. We got to throw off this run game, something. We got to turn the heat up. And you also saw personnel movements, and it really started here. Look, you have Iffy in the box. Okay, you don't have Jamie Collins on the field because you're in a sub package. They blitzed this side. They did it a lot in the preseason, but, it ends up nothing comes of the drop into coverage. But again, Jimmy Garoppolo over the middle on Amani. See the whole field? But it seemed like he had a really, really bad first half. Way too many points offensively. But you're already seeing now coming out in the second half some of the adjustments that they're making personnel-wise to try to change things up based on certain packages, okay? This is a tight formation for the offense. But what do the Lions do? Okay, first off, they show a 6-man front. 2 outside linebackers, 4 defensive linemen, a 6-man front. We saw the Rams. They had this done against them in the Super Bowl back in 2018. It's kind of what Bill Belichick was popular for doing this. It stops some of those mid-zone plays.
So this was an adjustment the Lions came out of the half with. I mean, they took Jimmy Collins completely off the field to go with some of those bigger bodies and put him along the defensive line. It meant that you were going to have to trust your guys one-on-one more in the back end, but you had to put that emphasis because we have to stop the run. We know if we can't stop the run, we can't get off the field. We can't stop this team at all. And it worked. I almost wish they would have came out of the gates like this because that's what I was saying in my video. I'm like, man, I'd be cool if the Lions played a lot of cover one looks and just focused on shutting down that run. And that's what they came out in the second half with. I wish we would have saw it more in the first half, but at least they adjusted.
And this is just Tracy Walker versus George Kittle, a heck of a weapon, and you can see Kittle just makes a play.
Now, this becomes a simple, pure one-on-one because you went to that six-man front. So you're going to have man coverage across the board here. Now, they decide to go with Tracy Walker. He comes down to take George Kittle one-on-one. It's a matchup the offense likes, of course. The Lions could have went with Will Harris here in coverage. They decided to go with Walker, who's got a little bit more size. They put Will Harris as the single high, deep safety. They could have went with someone else. Maybe they could have put Iffy in this spot, but they decided to go with Tracy Walker. And he struggled, honestly, in camp and man-to-man coverage. But they decided to go with him against the tight ends, who's had some success in the past there. And I would have like to see Iffy or someone try to get opportunities here. Remember, Matt Patricia ran the cover 1, cover 3, single high, deep safety look, and people were like, well, why is Tracy Walker not playing? Well, it was because they had Will Harris playing that single high, deep safety look, and Tracy Walker did get some of this role. Remember, they signed Jaron Kearse for a reason. Kearse came in, and he was kind of like the tight end stopper for us when he was here, and when he wasn't here, it was Walker that had these reps. One of the two had to take it, but that's why they signed Kearse. For the Lions, I would like to see them try to give some reps here, possibly to a guy like Iffy, just to try him up. But in this situation, it went with Walker, and Walker got beat.
Well, look at Trey Flowers. Hold up, was that Flowers? I didn't even realize he was getting into that. Nick Williams' get off was fantastic. Ali McNeil fighting here. It causes him to slip. Brockers cleans it up, 2-yard gain. We weren't really getting run stops like this in the first half, so it was nice to see it. Back to the 5-man front. They go back to Jamie Collins and Alex. But what I like here is that even though he doesn't make the stop, he forces the running back to bounce. Will Harris not only slides into the box like Tracy Walker was, but instead, when Walker was kind of just standing there, Will Harris came in, and he came in just saying, I'm not going to wait. The thing is, with this offense, again, you can't hesitate. If you think, if you wait, if you be patient, like we said, even if you make the right decision, but you're slow, you're still wrong. Okay, because it's just an offense that's trying to do things quickly. They only need to get you out of, a spot for half a second. All of a sudden, you're beat. Will Harris decided, as soon as I see the football, I'm going. There's no hesitation. And that's where things got better because they start bringing Will Harris inside. You could tell he was comfortable here. And even though I'm not saying he played a great game, he did help us a ton in this second half. Watch Will Harris shoot in here, forcing this to bounce outside. Alex shoots inside. Okay, and now it's about that $90 million man versus a tight end. You got to help us. And he does.
Kind of a tough spot the Lions were in here. Notice Will Harris comes into the box. George Kittle is also not who he's matched up with. Walker would come into the box in his matchup with Kittle. They didn't really trust Will Harris against Kittle one-on-one, probably because of the size difference. But Will Harris was better. He comes in and plays like a linebacker. Walker's not that great against the run. So when Walker came in the box, he had more success rushing the football.
Plays well. Here comes the blitz. You bring both the linebackers, Jamie, Alex, a 3rd and 8. This is your shot to get off the field. So we only gave up 10 points second half. We gave up a 52-yard field goal, and we gave up a bomb. That's it. That's all we gave up in the second half. So the defense was definitely better. But here's an example of the Lions had a great opportunity to get off field. They were in a spot that they haven't been often. So the Lions brought the heat. They said, look, we don't want to have Garoppolo have time because our secondary has struggled. I get it. Okay, let's let him get through his first progression, and that's where the ball's going, whether it's open or not. This is all you want. This is what you want from a defense. This is what you want. Pocket collapses. He throws an absolute duck. Do you see the ball that he throws? I think this was actually on the disaster of a throw that this was completed because it threw off Okudah. Look at that. That's disgusting. Okudah's in a good spot, gets his head around a little late. He gets it around here, but because it's so underthrown, I think this is what messes up Okudah because he just sits on the ball. And Okudah's running with him, but because he's kind of face guarding him because Debo has a lot of speed, it's like he couldn't turn around for the ball all the way because it was such a bad pass. It worked out for the offense. Will's got to help us here, but it's a touchdown. So, yes, he's burnt. But it stinks, man, because we were like right there. And obviously we're wishing that he gets better soon because, I mean, that's terrible news that he's out for the season. It's just really stinks. Every time I think about that, I feel awful for him because I was super excited to see, how he would bounce back this season. On this play, I mean, this was their offense. They didn't do much offensively. You get back to our offense, and again, you're back with the run game. You get Sewell, you get, Jonah Jackson blocking downfield. We got guys that can run block. I do like this, though. This is the one play that really stuck out. You're in a 3rd and 1. This is coming off of a Jason Kabinda drop play action pass where he had a lot of room. Now you're in 4th and 1. And you're down by, 4 scores at this point? It's like 38-10. So instead of punting it like most teams would do, Dan Campbell's like, I'm just going to go for it. This is dumb. Let's just go for it. That's what he does. You got trips left here. They go for it. They trust their offensive line who's been getting that push. And this time they get the push. It's an easy first down for Jamal.
You want to give some credit, though, here to Jamal. Jamal sells the inside, and you can see the strong side linebacker is completely lost. He doesn't even know where Jamal is when he bounces back out. That's great vision, but setting up the linebacker.
Here we are, 2nd and 4. You get the 5-man rush here, but it's really just a well-done job by Jared Goff on this screen pass. Look at his eyes. He starts right, doesn't give away anything. Now he's looking back to the middle. The pass rusher is like, oh, we got him. We got him. Sewell's blocking here gives, Goff enough time for this to set up. and then he goes right to it. Good pass. Swift makes the grab. He had a drop earlier. It was a little bit behind him, but he dropped it, so to make that grab was nice. And then you see the flash of Swift. We know how talented he is. Here he is right here in space. Bam. Makes a man miss, which you hope you can do, and he does. 50 yards, whatever it was. Touchdown Lions, 38-17. So fantastic. Off this cornerback spot, we saw a lot of cornerback blitzes, how he attacks downhill. He kind of takes away this outside option, even though it's an inside run. But it's Kevin Strong this time who blows things up in the backfield. And AJ Parker gets involved on this stop, and he get a run stuff at the line of scrimmage. Here's another example. The run defense really improved in the second half. I think guys just got really locked in the second half, and they were just attacking from everywhere. Alex this time, no hesitation. Look how Alex doesn't hesitate. He just goes outside and he sets the edge. And then Jamie Collins gets probably blocked in the back. You could probably call it blocked in the back there. But again, he's just not going downhill. He's not going downhill like I wish he would have. But you do get this tackle from behind from Kevin Strong. Now here in a 3rd and 1, there's no way they would have got this stop in the first half. But in the second half, they got this stop. A speed option play, and it's great job by Trey Flowers for taking away the option, right? He takes away the running back, but he also takes away the quarterback from running outside, forces him back inside, and then it's about Jamie Nick Williams who cleaned it up. Like I said, Nick played a pretty good game from what I saw. So we're able to clean it up. We get off the field, and it looks like Sewell's beat, even though he kind of is. He gets bull rush back quarterback. It's really Jonah Jackson again, okay? And he's beat inside. It forces Jared Goff to roll out. You can see Nick Bosa kind of just runs Sewell into the ground. He rolls out left, and that turns into a sack. You're in a 3rd and 7, so you have to have time to go through your progressions in this situation. First progression there, but Jonah's beat inside. He's not able to step up in the pocket, so he's forced outside. You can see that Nick Bosa gets back into the play. He bull rushed Sewell into the ground, and now you get a sack. So we're back on the defensive side of the ball. So what they do is they slide Alex to the outside, basically show a 6-man front, and that leaves Jamie Collins free at this inside linebacker spot. Everybody can be picked up. So putting Alex sets the edge. AJ Parker, he gives us something here battling. Look how AJ Parker sets the edge of a small corner. That's fantastic. And then your defensive line, Romeo gets a hit, and Jamie Collins is free. Fantastic job. You can see the adjustments. Will Harris is there to clean it up. He's playing fast. Look at this rep. Look at this. Across the board, this is pretty. This is really pretty. Okay, Trey Flowers up here sets the edge. Helps on Deebo Samuel. Earlier we gave a big play on this. But Alex, look how Alex realizes this. Okay, early in the game we have him running the completely wrong way. He's so locked in on the run game here. But instead of diving on this run play, he sees Deebo Samuel run out. He takes the receiver. Jamie Collins, instead of jumping inside, he drops back and he helps so coverage over the middle. And then it's just Hefe who bounced back. And man, I'm so mad that he's injured. It stinks, man, because that's a beautiful play right there. And you could just see the flashes of a top pick. And that's a great play. Now we're in a 3rd and 10 spot. And again, this is another spot we should get off the field. I don't hate the play call watching it back, but I hate it with the personnel that we use. You're bringing Alex and Tracy Walker. Again, I love it. You're aggressive. Let's not give him time. You bring both guys. Beautiful. You get a free rusher. 3rd and 10. That's fine. You don't drop any in that space. Anybody in space? Okay. I didn't like that. But the real issue to me is that you have Jamie Collins as the linebacker who drops back. So having Jamie Collins be the only linebacker who drops back, he's not fast enough to cover that much field. And the Lions got to know that. I mean, we've seen this for years. Collins is not that fast. If anything, you got to blitz Collins here. I get they want to close that gap quick, but you can't have Jamie Collins as the only linebacker driving back in a 3rd and 10 because you know he's just not fast enough. And that's what we see here. He sees it. He runs over. He's just not quick enough to get there. And he stopped in his tracks. We've seen that many times. And he picks up the 1st down. But then we hold them to a field goal. Will Harris, okay? Again, they show, a 5-man front. But Will Harris is already in the box. But unlike Tracy Walker, see how he shoots down right away? See how there's just no hesitation? He blows his receiver up. He's not even expecting it. Instead of sitting and waiting, you have to go. You have to go defensively. We were way too passive in the first half against this offense. Will Harris sets this up. He makes this play. Great job by Jamie to avoid this, but if Will doesn't blow this up, he doesn't force him back inside. Will forces him in, and he makes the tackle. That's fantastic. It was a great rep there. Now you get the play action. Tracy Walker, same thing. I'm going to blitz. Okay, how about another blitz? Look how many times you're blitzing in the second half versus the first half. Let's get after him, right? Give him no time. We got to do something different. So there was obvious adjustments here. Now we're on offense, 3rd and 5. You get Jared Goff, who throws it to Trinity Benson. It's incomplete, but it's a pass interference. Benson drew multiple pass interference calls like we've seen in the film. Benson was a good route runner. He had solid hands, and I was like, where is Tyrell Williams? Well, I forgot. He took that big hit, came out of the game, so that's why there was no Tyrell. I wish we would have had him in the end because I think we would have had at least a couple of jump ball tries to Tyrell Williams, or at least could have pushed a safety on his side of the field, and we could have had a shot to tie it. But with no Tyrell Williams, it was Benson who had to step up, and he did at least what you would want him to do. I mean, he's not Tyrell Williams, but he's a good route runner, and he drew some PIs that helped us big time. He put us at the 1 yard line. He drew one right there because of his fantastic route running. But this time, right, look, again, left guard, Jonah Jackson, beat inside. And because Jonah's beat, Goff sees it. He can't step up. He has to throw it to his check down. He does the same thing on the next play, too, because guess what? We're beat. This time it's Big V who's beat. Big V wasn't beat that often, but here he was. Sewell does a good job. They get the help block inside, but now he has to go back to his check down. So we had to get too many check downs here. But, of course, it's way easier for the defense when they know you're passing the football. So it's not just on Big V or Jonah Jackson. It's also the fact that they know you have to pass the ball because at this point, there was like 5 minutes in the game. We're down by 24 points. They know you got to throw the football. That's why you can't get in these spots. And then this play, we got run blockers. Even though pass protection a little bit like this, even though it's much better, notice how pass protection was much better in the first half versus the second half where they know we had to pass it. You have to stay on schedule, man. Jackson pulling outside, bam, picking up the edge. Then you get the lead block by Cabinda. I mean, this is beautiful. Look at Hawkinson blocking his man out of the play. No one touches him. Again, another run where no one touches the running back, and he got into the end zone. That is a beautiful rep for this offensive line. But pass protection wavered in the second half because of the fact that they knew we were throwing it. They're just getting downhill, and that's what you see here. But it's still a beautiful pass. This is off the onside kick. Okay, we get some pressure inside. Jonah's beat again, but he's getting a little bit of help, trying to hold on, but it's just a beautiful pass. All right, Goff likes his matchup here. This is huge because Khalif Raymond and Goff, they have had a connection in practice. Khalif Raymond and Goff have had a connection. Trini Benson, those guys, not as much. So they're building that. And they'll build that with this game, and they'll build it throughout the week. But there's a trust factor here. One-on-one, I like my matchup, makes the move, and right here I'm throwing it. It's timing, it's trust, and as soon as he puts it up there, this is a beautiful ball from Goff. And Khalif with a fantastic grab. And then you get this little fade into the end zone, a little fall away from Jared Goff to Cephas. The connection is there. We've seen it throughout practice. Then you come back with this rollout, and you get this pass to the end zone. Who does he trust? He trusts his man Cephas with a beautiful toe tap, and we stay alive. You got to love it. And then finally, you want to get the ball one more time. And look at the adjustment the Lions make. Now, I understand watching this back why the Lions didn't play Derek Barnes more, because Barnes is a rookie, and he showed you in coverage he's a rookie. He's just a little bit, he makes some mistakes and get out of spots. Collins doesn't get out of spots. He just isn't the perfect fit. See Derek Barnes' effectiveness. When they knew the offense was running the ball, like the Lions knew here, 1st and 15, they knew Derek Barnes was the better option. Like we all knew Barnes was the better option. I thought we'd see him more. But when the Lions knew they had to run it, they went with Barnes, and it paid off big dividends on these first 2 plays. You can see Barnes. Notice the difference between how Collins plays this and how Barnes plays this. There's a way you have to play it, but it's also just a player he is. He's this type of player versus Collins, who's a different type of player. They didn't bring in Collins, so it makes sense. Collins is smart. He's a veteran. He understands things. He's more disciplined, so I get it. But when they knew they were running it, they went with the young guy because he understands this. Alex is more like Barnes than he is like Collins, right? There's clearly just a type of player. So it's just the type of player that you have. But watch how Barnes shoots down here, and he gets in there and make the stop. He's making the stop at the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 14. Okay, they're going to flip to the strong side. So now you have Derek Barnes on the strong side of the field. Watch how fast he shoots down here, right? As soon as he recognizes it, bam, I'm getting downhill. Bam, let me get in there and make a tackle. And good job by the defensive line, Ali McNeil that time. But here's where you see Derek Barnes as a rookie. As good as he is in coverage because he can close down things fast, and on that play the running back, he probably would have closed it down and probably would have got us off the field. He is a rookie, and there's certain times where it's like he doesn't know really what to do, and there's little things that you have to ask him. We can ask him to play man coverage and flats, things like that. Yeah, he's fantastic, but it's the understanding and zone coverage, things like that, where you don't always know what you're going to get. And here's a perfect example. If Trey Flowers doesn't strip this, Derek Barnes might get some of the blame for giving up the first down that ends this game. Because watch him here. So he's just hesitant. He doesn't know what to do. He slides out, takes his receiver away, running back falls, and he's like, what do I do? He's kind of in no man's land, but he misses this receiver who's standing right next to him. And he's got the first down, but it's Trey Flowers, the $90 million man. You pay him for a reason, who punches it out, and Barnes gets back on. Barnes is going to be that dude for us very soon. He just needs to continue to pick up how to play in this defense and what they need of him and the understanding. Because remember, it's not that he's a bad player. It's just that he's only played inside linebacker, off-ball linebacker for a year at Purdue. That's it. He was an edge. So he's only been doing this for 1 season. So it's very new to him. He's still understanding this. He's an athlete. He's got every tool that you want. Now it's just about the game understanding, and he'll get that. But then you get Goff, who just laid some beautiful passes. This one is St. Brown. Pretty. I love it. And you can just see he's much more comfortable. And remember, People forget this is what Goff did. Goff played at Cal in the shotgun nearly every single snap in his college football career. Goff is comfortable here. He understands what he's doing. He's like, man, this is comfy for me. Starts right, comes back left, a little roll left, feels comfy, a little wobble, but it's still a great pass. Hits St. Brown at the 50. How about this? 2nd and 10. Okay, get my drop. I'm going to step up in the pocket. Look at this. Look how he doesn't freak out, panic, and roll out. He sits in the pocket, waits, takes the hit, fires it, little duck, hits his man Khalif Raymond. And then it's this 4th and 10. You saw him roll out. You saw him scramble. You saw him hit Hockenson, but it was dropped. But then you get this 4th and 9, and it's unfortunate. I can see how this happens. So it was a late stunt in the inside here, and he doesn't see it. He is in a 4th and 9. He's got to wait. You can see Hockenson, first off, isn't even there yet. He just got through his first read, but he doesn't know this. He doesn't see the defender because he's looking left right now. And unfortunately, this late stunt, Frank Ragnow is unable to pick him up. By the time he looks back, he's in his face. He's like, oh, crap, I have nothing. At this point, Goff, he's not the athlete to escape and be able to make something happen here. He's like, crap, I just got to throw it. You can see the panic, and he just chucks it. He just chucks it to a guy that knew there was a guy on that side of the field, and it's incomplete. But overall, all in all, there was good. There was obviously bad. I do like the adjustments that were clear here. Barnes is going to be a big part of this defense in time. You can tell in time. Goff, he got comfy. He got locked in. He came out struggling. The run game, the blocking was fantastic. Jonah struggled a lot in pass protection. Matt Nelson had some struggles in pass protection. There was a couple across the board. Sewell did really well against Nick Bosa in this game. He got beat like maybe once or twice, but for the most part, he was pretty darn good at left tackle. So shout out to him. We may have to do a video just on him. But as you guys saw, good and bad. The defense was terrible, but there were adjustments. They locked in. The run defense was much better. Will Harris was honestly the perfect guy to get into the box there, and he played aggressive. He brought that. Barnes fits for this defense. It's just going to take some time for him to understand it and the Lions to trust him over Jamie Collins. Amani struggled big time. He kind of bounced back a little bit, but he struggled big time, even though we couldn't see the whole field. So I won't say that he didn't improve as the game went on because they didn't target him, but he did struggle big time, and it was just awful. And then, of course, Okuda's injury, you hate to hear it because he did flash. Even though he made a bad play, he did flash, and your defense is much better. You gave up 10 points on a bomb and a field goal, 52-yard field goal. That's all you gave up. And your offense, they came together. When they know you're passing the ball, that also hurts your pass protection. You came back and you did some things like this. You moved the ball down the field. Goff proved to us what he could do. You know what Goff can be, and he looked comfy. I mean, he looked more comfy right here than I saw all game. To step in the pocket, take the hit, and fire this, clearly he trusts Khalif. There's trust between him and Benson will grow. And I think we have a bright future with this team. I think these are the guys that are going to make this happen. The aggressiveness was there. I'm excited. And I'd like to thank our sponsor, BetQL, for today's video. The link is in the description. Use promo code DOD for 25% off. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you, for watching. And that outro is being updated right now. So if you're not on there, but you are a member, stay locked. I'm getting it updated right now. I have to go record it again. But it's coming. I'll see y'all later. Thank you, for watching, and I'm out.